Hello, I'm Mr. Pleasant Books. For this book talk, we'll be discussing the first book in the Spire series, Aeronaut's Windlass by Jim Butcher. Now, I'm a big fan of Jim Butcher. I've liked almost everything he's written. He writes sequences very well. He writes the characters that you like. He gives people personalities. He always surprises you, and he has humor in his writing. So I've always enjoyed Jim Butcher. And this one is no exception to that. And he does very well with building the world, building the characters like Grimm and Gwen and Folly and all of the other characters that are in this book. He just does really, really well with making them. Makes you really want to like them. This is set in a fictional world where the air or the atmosphere has etheric currents running through it. I'm not 100% sure what an etheric current is, and they don't seem to properly explain in the book. Maybe they will in the later series. But it seems almost like it allows crystals to grow, and these crystals gain some magical properties from this etheric current, which allows like ships to fly or them to shoot bolts of lightning out of their hands with the crystal in their palm. So it's just very good, really good. From here forward, there will be spoilers. Just letting you know. Okay. Alright, so in this book, we get introduced to Warrior Born, which is a really interesting concept. It's humans that have somehow been spliced with lions. They can see better in the dark, they're stronger, they're faster, they have better senses just overall. But they're also, but the reason that they don't, I guess, take over is because they're very living in the now rather than planning far ahead for the future like people do. The Warrior Born can just kind of live in the now. They could look in your room, tell you where everything is, but they couldn't tell you how to design that room to make it look good. And so so they have a lot of good things, but well, like lions, they're here. They're hungry, they go eat. They're tired, they sleep. They feel like fighting, they fight. They're very singular purpose, very present, but they're still really cool. And there's like a situation where two Warriorborn are the only ones who can see in the pitch blackness, and one of them takes out four guys before the other Warriorborn stops him. So the Warriorborn are really cool, and the crystals. I mean, I kind of have the idea that the crystals are floating crystals that help you float because I've read another book series that has something similar. Only it has rocks that float rather than crystals. But these crystals, they allow you to fly vast differences. They can go you up and down really fast. It makes the boats or the ships sing and make noise. Like he says, one ship as it's diving sounds like a huge war drum. The boom, boom, boom. But he says his ship, the Predator, sings. Grimm, the captain, is what I'm talking about. And it sings, and it makes it sound like it'd be really, really cool to fly on these ships. With the one exception of, apparently, because of the etheric currents, if you're outside, like outside on the landings or on the ships, and you don't have the proper goggles on, you will be driven insane. I guess the sun shining through the etheric currents cause your brain to scramble if you're just out there too long in that sunshine with with the currents. So that is the one bad thing, but and you can't go on the surface, which would kind of suck because it sounds like the surface is pretty cool. And there's plenty of trees and the mists cover everything. There's definitely dangerous monsters and beasts and everything down there, but but for some reason you can't live on the surface. And it seems like the people, and this was almost something that maybe they did by accident. The old, like in the past, the builders, as they call them, because the builders built these cinder spires, which are 10,000 feet tall, 2 miles wide, and the rock is, it seems indestructible. No matter what hits it, it doesn't break it. And there's these spires all over the world, and so it seems like the makers built these for the purpose of people surviving that jungle, that forest, that whatever it is, land that they're surrounded by. So maybe there was a cataclysm that happened, or maybe they were messing around with the etheric currents, and it broke the land, and that's why it's constantly shrouded in mist. It doesn't say, again, maybe in the later in the series, but there's only one book out for right now, so we don't know. But but then there's the Etherealist, people who can channel those etheric currents through themselves. They all go a little crazy. Like, there's one who, if you're not polite to her, she'll kill you. And I mean, like, gentlemanly, proper, polite, old-style Victorian polite. If you're not that way, she'll just kill you and be done with you. There's another one, Folly, who doesn't talk to people. She talks to little crystals that have lost their light, lumens, as they're called in the book. Normally they brighten everything. These ones are really dim, so only Etherealists can see the light coming at them, and she only talks to them. She can't talk to a real person other than her master, who he can't work doorknobs. He just can't figure them out. He also has, at random times, he tells Folly to go find different things, like 3 pairs of socks that are striped, 2 candles that are 7 inches high, and a colander for draining water out. And so she goes and finds it, and he just has this collection that if he doesn't have it, he actually shuts it down. So they're all insane, but they can control the etheric currents through them. So, like, when somebody tried to shoot at him with a gauntlet, he captured it, threw it right back at him, blew the guy apart. So you don't mess with the Etherealist, even if they're insane. And the creatures. First, before we get to the creatures, the people who control the creatures. The verminologists. If I lived in that world, that's, I think, what I would want to be the most, because their job just sounds awesome. They have these whips made of blades that they use to kill anything that manages to come through the vents of the spire, like the silk weavers, which sounds like giant spiders that are just like huge giant spiders, poison that can kill you really easily, and like claws as well that'll rip you open. And the mother silk weaver, so huge, like 8 feet long, can rip through doors. It's these things you don't want to mess with, but their silk is how you build the sails for the ships, so you kind of have to harvest from them. And they just sound vicious, but the verminologists help keep them and anything else that gets into the vents from coming into the people's lives and destroying them. And the cats help with that. Like, the cats are sentient, intelligent beings, so they help. They can talk. Raoul, at the end of the book, Raoul is the perfect example of a cat. I'm not going to spoil for you what he does at the end of the book, because I want you to read it. But Jim Butcher did very well writing from the cat's personality, point of view and personality. And Raoul is just so cool. I think that's it. I think that's all I can say on the book for now. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Mr. Pleasant Books. The next book I'm going to talk about is Fid's Crusade by David H. Reese. Again, Mr. Pleasant Books. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. Bye.